Hello everybody, Uniquely Lady Charlotte here, and I thought I would try to do a video, but if I can't do it, I'm going to cut it off. It's very difficult at this point. Sorry about my camera. It's very difficult at this point, but I'm going to try. So on Sunday, we transitioned my middle child, Kristen Simone. She was a very popular social media influencer, Chris_Simone with an E on the end, Samone, on TikTok. She was also on Facebook, and she was also on YouTube. I don't know what her name was on YouTube and Facebook, but it was Chris, I think TikTok at Chris_Simone. One of her followers reached out to me and sent me a couple of videos of that she had done. Excuse me. And I must admit, those videos made me feel really good about what transpired prior to what transpired. So she has a video that she put out when she was still in her apartment, saying that she keeps seeing the number 111, 1111, and 111. No, 1. So, and she was asking her subscribers to tell her, what it meant. She said, first she thought it was coincidence, and then because she didn't know what it meant, she said, but then after a while it was everywhere she looked. 1111 and 111. So I looked at the video and I'm like, well, what does that mean? So I go on YouTube, I go on Google, I pull it up, and I'm gonna tell you guys to pull it up and look at it. And now it all makes sense. The number in numerology signifies that she was getting ready to embark upon a spiritual journey, a spiritual transition, and this is why she was at home. This is when she had, all the sores and boils on the bottom part of her body, and she wasn't sick enough to go in the hospital. She was just trying to make it through and not alarm anybody, thinking it'd go away. But so read it. And when I read it, when this young lady sent it to me, and I read it, it made a lot of sense. It's like, oh, okay. So God was already preparing her as to what was getting ready to happen. It'll blow your mind away what the number 1111 means and 111. And she was asking for somebody to help her understand what it meant. Now, I know my daughter most likely researched it after the fact, because that's how she is. She's like me. You're going to research it. So I'm pretty sure she did. But like I said, we transitioned her. We set the date of May 19th, which was exactly 1 month after her birthday. We were going to do it at 4 o'clock, but I got there, a little late. So we did it, we started preparing at 4:30. Well, from 4:30 until about 8:10, maybe 8:12, she did what they said she couldn't do. She breathed on her own all that time. She breathed on her own. She was so strong. Her spirit was so strong. So she breathed on her own. And then as time went on, they took off everything, okay? But as time went on, her breaths became, they became with more pauses in between the next breath, okay? So first there was like 30 seconds in between, 15 seconds in between and 30 seconds in between, until it finally got down to where her breaths were more like 45 seconds in between the next breath. She wasn't in discomfort. They gave her anxiety medicine to keep her calm, so she wouldn't distress. They took the intubation tube out, and they suctioned her whenever we asked them to, which was good because she had that gurgling in her chest, that rattling. They called it the death rattle, but it was mucus. So then they gave her a shot to dry up the mucus in her throat, and that helped a lot. We didn't hear it no more. They gave her 2 shots for that, after a little while. In total, it was 2. And then she kept taking these breaths, and with the seconds in between, 45 seconds in between before she took the next one. And we all held her hand, I held her hand, her dad held her hand, they held her foot, they rubbed her leg, and we were just giving her positive affirmations, telling her that we loved her, and that we're here with her, we're right here with you. Sorry guys, I don't have any makeup on, you can tell I've been crying. I don't have any eyebrows. At this moment in point in time, I don't care. Just telling her we loved her and we're right here with her. And we laughed and remembered different little things she did because we felt like she could hear us. And she was just looking straight ahead. She was blinking for a while, but not, it would take a long time before she would blink. Sometimes she'd do a big blink, but eventually she stopped blinking and she was just staring straight ahead. So we knew we were getting closer. But she kept taking those deep breaths with pauses in between. And I had her little sister. Her little sister had surgery. And she had surgery on Friday. She had surgery on Friday. Knee replacement. But so she wanted to be there because she was just supposed to be in the hospital for 1 day. But she didn't do so well, because she had severe asthma and they had to intubate her during the surgery. So I was really under a lot of stress, but it's not about me. But as a mother, I was under a lot of stress. I got one, that we're having a homegoing service for, and I got one that's not doing so well. That's the same one that was in a coma for 2 weeks because her asthma got so bad, and that's when COVID first came out. And they said COVID, she didn't have COVID, but they didn't know how to test for it at the time. But she was in a coma for 2 weeks. So of course I was worried about her and trying to give my middle child a great transitional event, as well as with her dad and her stepmother, who she called us both mom, because her stepmother been in her life since she was like 3 or 4. So she's a mom too, and she was there every single day, allowed me to work. She was there, and she's a nurse, so she was there right there, and she kept us posted on everything that Kristen was going through. Well, I went outside. My mama was with me, related mama, she was with me, but I went outside because I felt like I was getting ready to faint. I just started, because I was standing beside the bed for a couple hours, and I just felt like I was getting ready to faint. I got real weak. I started trembling. I started sweating down both sides of my face, and I'm not a sweater. And I figured, okay, I gotta go sit down. That's what I'm thinking to myself. I gotta go sit down because something's getting ready to happen, and I don't want to faint in here on this floor. Because the goal of this transition was to have only strong people in the room that can handle this, that can handle her transition, because it's not always pretty, and people who were prayer warriors, people who believed in God's will and not praying against the fact. We all had faith up until the last hour. We kept the faith that God could turn it around even in the last hour if it was His will. We also made sure that we didn't have people in the room that would just bust out crying or having anxiety, because we didn't want her to hear that. We didn't want her to take any guilt with her that she was hurting us, okay, or that we were sad. So yes, people cried, but they kept it together. They cried silently. Tears rolled down our faces. I didn't cry. I had to be strong for my baby. But, and her dad didn't cry. He had to be strong, and it was a struggle for him. And her stepmother didn't cry. She had to be strong. So we just wanted to make sure she had a very peaceful transition. Her aunt played gospel music softly in the background. Her stepmother sang to her some gospel tunes, which we believe encouraged Kristen and encouraged us. Nothing loud, it was just soft. And we were just right there. Her daddy talked about taking her to Paris and them riding in business class, and that type of thing. They were supposed to do that together. So he talked about that's what they're gonna do and all of that. I kept kissing her chubby little cheeks and remembering my little baby, my little fat little baby that I had, little chunky thing, and funny things that she said to me. I reminded her stepmother of a video that my daughter had made. Now, that's another thing about my daughter, Kristen. You had to really be careful what you were doing around her, because she would record you in a moment, and you didn't know what she was recording. You just did not know. So I reminded her stepmother of a video that Kristen made of her, and her stepmom and her dad had no idea. The dad had no idea what his wife was doing to keep him healthy, but Kristen recorded it all. And so they didn't find out until I told them while we were in the room. And I told them, I said, Kristen made a recording of you, the stepmom, filling up, her dad, filling up her dad's syrup bottles, regular syrup bottles, the Aunt Jemima bottles, regular syrup, filling up the syrup bottles with sugar-free syrup. And she was like, what? I said, yeah, and she posted it online. You had 2 bottles on the counter, and you took your time to squeeze all of the sugar-free syrup into the 2 Aunt Jemima syrup bottles so he wouldn't know that you were watching out for his sugar. And we laughed so hard. She was like, oh my God, I did not know that. I said, yeah. I said, she was talking to you about something else, and you were so serious, and you were replacing the syrup. And then he was like, you did that? And she was like, yeah, I had to watch out for your sugar, So it was so funny, that they didn't know. But Kristen would get you a video without you knowing. She had a large following on her social media page, and several of her people, like I said, sent me condolences. One young lady, she sent me a video. She said, I don't know you. You don't know me, but I followed your daughter. She said when I clicked on her Instagram page, this is the first video that popped up. So she sent it to me, and I looked at it, and it was a video of Kristen talking about her constantly seeing this number 1111 and 111. And she was asking her followers to tell her what they thought it meant. She said, I'm not versed in this type of stuff. She said, but first I thought it was coincidence that I'm seeing these numbers. She said, but I'm seeing them too much. She didn't say how she was seeing them. She didn't say whether they were in her dreams or whether they were just at different things she looked at. And this is when she was at her apartment in the bed. And she was doing well. And she just said, I keep seeing these numbers. Can anybody tell me what they mean? So I looked it up, and it talked about your guardian angel giving you, or God getting ready to prepare you for a spiritual transformation. Spiritual transformation. And that you were getting ready to experience something totally different than what you're experiencing now, basically as a human. A new journey, a spiritual journey. And so I'm like, oh, now it makes sense. It makes sense. God was already preparing her to take her to a different level. And I know Kristen. She read about it. I know Kristen. She looked it up. She researched everything. So that's what makes me feel good too. That God has spoken to her and given her a revelation. A revelation. So toward the end, well, at the end, of her transformation, and her mom and family, stepmom and all of them, they packed up everything and they left because the funeral home had been called to come and pick up her body. I pulled the chair over to the bed. I kissed her. I held her hand. I rubbed her fingers. I just thought it was important for me as her mother. I remember hearing her heartbeat at 3 months old, at 3 months in my stomach, and I wanted to make sure I was there to hear her last heartbeat. I wanted to make sure I was there to see her take her last breath, because I was there when she took her first breath. That was very important to me, and God allowed me to do that. A lot of parents have lost children, and they weren't allowed to do that. So I thank God for the opportunity, because He didn't owe me nothing. But I thank God He gave us the platform to say when she transitioned, and everything went according to plan. So I pulled my chair to the bed, to the side of the bed, and I grabbed her hand and held her hand so I could face TV, and I talked to her, and I said, well, I know you like B-rated movies like me. That's where she got it from. I love B-rated movies. B-rated movies are those movies, so like if it say Jurassic Park, it might say Jurassic Playground, and they still got dinosaurs that look fake. So I find those movies hilarious. I love B-rated movies. And so I turned her on to those B-rated movies. And so that's what she used to watch. So I said, well, honey, we're going to watch B-rated movies after you tour heaven, after you get acclimated to heaven, after Jesus shows you around and you see how things work. I said, then you got so many people to visit, because I'm a firm believer that they come back to visit, whether you smell them, whether you see them in a dream, or you look up somewhere, you think you see somebody that looks like them, or around something, you see them peeking around the corner. I believe they come back to say goodbye. So I said, well, I'm just going to wait on my turn, because you got so many people to say goodbye to. I said, but I know I can always call you, and we can always watch a B-rated movie together. I told Kiana that, my youngest one, Uber Lady Baby, I told her that. She's home now, but she was in the hospital at the time, and she watched the whole transition on the phone, on video chat. She did very well. She didn't bust out crying out loud or anything. She did well. My oldest daughter did well. But anyway, I told my youngest daughter, your sister's going to come and see you. And I just want you to be prepared for it. She's going to come and say goodbye. And she was like, then she started giggling. And I said, what are you laughing for? And she was like, because she know I'm a scaredy cat. I'm scared of everything. And she know I don't want her to come and do that to me. She got to be careful how she do it. So we laughed. And I said, well, I'm sure your sister knows that, because y'all don't talk about it. I said, but how you a Christian? You scared of ghosts? You got the Holy Spirit. You got the Holy Ghost. How you scared? And so she was just laughing. I said, but I think your sister know how to approach you and not give you a heart attack. She was like, I hope she remembered. And so we both laughed. And I could have sworn I felt in my spirit that Kristen was laughing too, because we were silly like that. Silly. And I just felt I could hear Kristen laughing. So I'm okay with texting. I can text. I've had a lot of people text me. Even her fan base text me. I'm fine with texting. But when it comes to somebody calling me, that's when I get very emotional, and I can't handle that part, talking about it. I believe what I believe, and I know God's in control of everything. God is the potter, I'm the clay. The clay can't tell the potter what to make. I understand that, but it's just that when somebody asks me on the phone, how am I doing? And giving me their condolences. While I appreciate all of that, it's something I can't handle right now. I get very emotional, and then I start to cry. But if it's through text, I can handle that. I can text all day. I can handle that. But it's just when they ask me talk to me in person. I mean, over the phone or in person. I haven't had anybody talk to me in person other than my mama and Kiana and my oldest daughter. They were saying I was being so strong, and they look up to me. But I had to set a good example for them too, because I keep telling them, you gotta walk it like you talk it. If we know God like we say we know God, yeah, we're gonna be sad because I miss her. I'm gonna miss my baby. That's my middle child. My kids were 5 years apart, 5, 10, and 15. You know. So now I just got the 5 and the 10. There's a 10-year difference between my children now, because my middle puzzle piece has transitioned. So when I told the youngest one, Kiana, this is why you don't hold grudges with your siblings, because you never know how it's going to end up. Because Candace and Kiana, uniquely Lady Candy Cane, not Candace and Candace and Kristen. Candace, I call her uniquely Lady Candy Cane, and then Kristen, I call her uniquely Lady Shin Shin. They hadn't spoken for 2 years. They were mad about something that happened between them. I don't know what it was, and they hadn't spoken for 2 years. So I'm glad they got the opportunity to make up. When I say the opportunity to make up, me as a mother, I know that they made up, because when Candace came into the room and Kristen couldn't talk anymore, she was intubated, but she could see everybody. When Candace came into the room, her eyes got real big, scary big, got real big, and then the alarm started going off on her machines because her heart rate shot up, and she was moving her mouth. And everybody was telling her, don't talk. But I was reading her lips, and she was telling her sister, I'm sorry, and I love you. Candace was able in turn to tell her, I love you too. And she just kept her eyes on Candace for a long time. Candace is the oldest one. She just kept staring at Candace for a long time. So that told me that they had made up. I didn't want Candace to carry that burden with her of not making up with her sister over something silly after her sister passed. I mean, we thought she was going to recover. But they made up, and I saw it in both their faces. And I talked to Candace about it later. She didn't remember what they fell out about. And before Kristen got to where she couldn't talk anymore, she used to talk to me and tell me, I want to call my sister. But see, she used to say she hated her sister. And I said, well, I mean, you're using the word hate, so you probably just need to leave her alone. And she's like, but I love her, but I want to talk to her and all this. I said, it's going to take time. Well, I didn't know that time wasn't on our side. But I was so glad that they were able to make up through the way they did. Kristen didn't have to leave this earth with a burden on her heart or unforgiveness on her heart, and Candace doesn't have to live with unforgiveness on her part, because that's a heavy burden to bear. So I say to you guys, if you got a sibling, parent, sibling, uncle, aunt, even a friend that you're mad at, time is not on your side. You may think it is, but it's not. You need to go ahead and extend the olive branch and just make the phone call. If they don't accept your phone call, then you did your part, and you can go to heaven in peace. Do your part. Put pride aside, because my 2 girls almost missed the opportunity to forgive each other. They almost missed it. So now my oldest daughter, she's hurting real bad. She can't talk on the phone either. She called me and she's checking on me. But I'm in a lot better space than she is. But I do appreciate my girls calling on me, to check on me. And a lot of people are checking on me. But I believe what I believe. I believe in the Most High. I believe that we're here just for a little while. Because earth is not our home. This is just a temporary place. Heaven is our home. So I gotta walk it like a talking. I ain't perfect, but I gotta walk it like a talking. And I know I got a lot of people watching me. So for all the things I preached to other people or told other people about God and forgiveness and heaven, and I gotta walk it like a talking. now, I'm headed to Burlington because, like I said, my youngest daughter got out of the hospital today, and my ex-husband, her dad, was trying to get her from the hospital into the car to Walmart to her apartment. She lives upstairs, so she had the neighbor help get her upstairs, another guy, and get her into bed. Her bed is real high too, so they got her into bed. Then finally, my ex-husband gets on the phone. He's married, he's remarried. He and I and his wife are good friends, just like Kristen's dad and wife and I are good friends. I could tell he was nervous. My ex-husband was like Barney Fife. Y'all remember how Barney Fife get all nervous and all tore up? That's Keanu's dad, right? He's like Barney Fife. So he get on the phone talking all fast and hard like Barney Fife. And I say, what? What is wrong with you? He's like, I need you to get up here. I need to take care of your daughter. I say, but I'm just going to lay on the couch all day. I'm just trying to vegetate. I'm just trying to just lay here and just lay here. He was like, no, I need you to get up here, take care of your daughter. He don't cuss enough because he's a bishop. Take care of your doggone daughter. and anyway, you don't need to be down there thinking by yourself. I don't need to be down here thinking by myself. I said, this is not my pay week. I don't have any gas money to get up there. I don't get paid the next week. So the gas money I got, I need to keep getting me to work because I was going to go back to work on Thursday. And he was like, well, I got some money. I'm going to give you some money. I'm going to give you some. So I said, well, you can't send it to my Cash App because my Cash App messed up. It's closed. I use Zelle or Venmo. That's the only way you can send me some money. He was like, well, I don't have all those. So he's like, I'm going to leave it at Walmart. Okay, that's fine. Well, he couldn't do that. It didn't work out. He didn't know how to do it. So it's all right. So then my daughter called me on her phone and was like, Mom, can you at least get up here and I can get you some money to get home? I'm like, that's great, but I need to eat. I need to have some money when I come home. I need to have some gas in my car because I got to go to work. And I might want to do Lyft or something. I got to have some money. I can't spend all my money getting up there and then trying to get back home. Then I'm slap old eat. I don't get paid till next week, next Thursday. She's like, well, I'll see what I can do. I'm like, we'll see what I can do. Then he calls me again, and he's like, you need to get up here, take care of your doggone daughter. I need help. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And he's like, you don't need to be home by yourself. No way. No doggone way. Get up here. You need to take your mind off things. He's been lecturing me since last week, calling me, asking me, what are you doing? Where you at? Why do you care what I'm doing and where I'm at? Them questions you're not supposed to be asking me, but that's him still trying to take care of me and look out for me. I am thankful, though, to have people that still care and love me and looking out for me, because there are a lot of people that just feel like they have been forgotten from the world. Even my friend that said, oh, I got to call her later. I was supposed to go see her at the rehab facility. That's my friend girl Regina, the one that's dying from cancer. The doctor gave her 2 to 4 months to live, and she spent a lot of her time asking me how my daughter's doing. She called me earlier this morning, and I did accept her phone call because time is not on our side with her, and God has the last say. But I told her I was going to come by and see her, so now I got to call her back until I can't make it to the nursing home to see her today, but I can see it when I come back home. But she was asking, about me. She's in her own situation, but she's still trying to look out for me. So I'm telling you, if you allow it, God will put good friends in your presence. If you allow it, He'll put some good people in your life. You need to get rid of all those people that are in your life that don't mean you no good, that ain't watching out for you, that ain't got your back. You need to get rid of them people. It's toxic. They're toxic vampires. They're emotional vampires. They just take, or they dump all their problems on you. We don't deserve that. Get rid of them people out your life. Ask God to take them away. He'll take them away smooth, too. Real smooth. You won't even notice. He'll take them away real smooth. Those emotional vampires. He sure will. But I thank God for the friends I have. I thank God for the YouTube supporters that I have. I do. Thank you. I thank all of you for rocking with me, you know. I've invited you guys in my life, and you've been right there, offering kind words, condolences, lifting me up when I can't lift myself up sometimes, and me trying to lift you guys up. I think it's a perfect partnership, you know. But I'm just a little down right now. Just a little down right now. But I'll be okay. I'll be okay. It's part of life. I'm human. Part of life. Part of life. But I'm glad my daughter got everything that I wanted her to have, and she was set free. I just wanted her to be free. I didn't want her to leave this earth with any type of bondage, or feeling like she's abandoning us, or feeling like she's leaving us behind. Y'all told her we'll see you again. Y'all told her, you know, who to look for when she gets to heaven. And your grandma and your granddaddy up there on his parents' side. My side, your cousin Martina is there. She was 17 when she passed. She died 2 weeks before her birthday. And just a lot of people she could look for. So, anyway, I'm going to go. I think I've been talking 31 minutes, 29 seconds. But again, thank you guys for your condolences. Sorry I look a mess, but I'm just not feeling it today. I'm sure you understand. And I'll talk to you soon, okay? Just continue to pray for me and my strength. Lift up my family, my friends. Pray for my daughter's soul. Her name is Kristen, Simone Hood. Pray for her soul.